It's been exactly it's been exactly 2 weeks now since I had the Switch 2, and I'm making this weird looking video now. I can't be in the car right now, but the sun is directly behind me, which is what you don't want to do for a video. So hopefully you can understand visually what's going on here. But it's been 2 weeks, that's 14 days. I got the Switch 2 June 6th, day after launch it came. And now it's June 20th. That's 14 days. And I must say, not just for Nintendo consoles, but as far as all consoles go, I tend to get them like on launch. I'm just crazy that way. This has to be the least extreme jump between consoles I've ever seen in my life. Like, I had the DS Lite. Like, I got the DS Lite when that came out because it was cool. I already had an original DS. And, I must say, the difference between the DS Lite and the DS is larger than the distance between the Switch and the Switch 2. The Switch 2, like, I could just close my eyes or just, like, pay attention to the screen and not notice the difference. It's just, yeah, I know it looks different, but I put it in the exact same place the Switch 1 was. It just kind of slotted right in. Everything kind of worked from the Switch 1 to the Switch 2 out of the box. You know? Do you want that? Like, everyone would have said years ago, man, I wish everything would have just worked. Like, if I had to switch from PS3 to PS4 to PS5, what have you. I wish everything just carried over. Well, it did. It finally did. And now it's just so boring. Like, it's not different at all. It's so weird. I believe the rumors now. Like, years ago, they were talking about the Switch Pro. Oh, are they going to announce the Switch Pro? Is the Switch Pro going to be here? This is it. I'm serious. I 100% believe now that this was originally the Switch Pro. And then they just said, you know what, let's just call it the Switch 2, and we're going to call it the next generation. It is the Switch Pro. There's no other way to cut it. The operating system, like the interface of it, is so close to the Switch 1 that it makes me wish it was different just to be different, which is a stupid justification for something, but I mean, the jump I was calling the PS5 the PS4 Pro, but now the PS5 feels like the PS5. It feels like something totally different than the PS4. And the Switch 2 does not. It feels like a Switch. Like I said, I had the original DS, and then I got the DS Lite, and that was cool. And it felt more different than this. This is genuinely the Switch Pro. And, maybe that's not what you want. Like, if you don't have a Switch, this is the one to get. But if you have a Switch, this is the stupidest time to buy a Switch 2. I buy these things because I'm crazy. And I hope that everybody is not like me, but I really, really need to play Metroid Prime 4 as soon as possible on the Switch 2 because it's better on that. And that's a huge reason why I bought this. I didn't buy it for Mario Kart World, and I promise this isn't going to turn into a review of Mario Kart World. But by the way, I promised that in weeks, plural, I would be back and I would tell you about the Switch 2 screen. Like, does the dock scratch the screen? And I'm going to overlay something here right now showing you if that's true. I haven't been going easy on the Switch 2. I've been intentionally playing it in both modes. I've been trying everything. I've been using the grip. I've been taking the Joy-Cons in and out. I'm just trying. I'm not trying to break it. I'm trying to be honest with how it works. And I don't want to be... I want to be the average user to try to really understand it. And... Anyway, this is what the screen looks like. Now, as for Mario Kart World, just on a quick note, go watch the Donkey Kong Bonanza Direct, and then look at Mario Kart World, and you tell me which game you think is more expensive. Mario Kart World's $80, and I think Donkey Kong Bonanza is $60. That's USD. Man, Mario Kart World looks like it's worth about $40. I'm serious. The game is hideous. It's not as cool as Mario Kart 8. It's technically the driving is more complicated. Like, the techniques that go into play is more advanced here. But that's not going to win over a kid. That's not going to win over a big chunk of your audience. Your audience wants something that looks cool. And I'm sick of these videos on YouTube where somebody says, man, Mario Kart World looks bad. And then some genius in the comments is like, actually, this runs at blah, 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 whatever resolution. So, blah, 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 and it has a higher performance. Nobody cares. Nobody cares. Okay? It doesn't matter. The frame that you see in Mario Kart World is more ugly than the frame in Mario Kart 8. That's all that matters. That's all. When people see a screenshot, that's what matters. And you can't sell performance to a kid, and that's a large chunk of your audience. I don't think kids are going to be super impressed with the Switch 2 and Mario Kart World, because as it stands right now, what's the Switch 2 game? Mario Kart World. Yeah, we couldn't get Donkey Kong Bonanza out a month earlier. We couldn't do it. We delayed. We waited so long to release the Switch 2. We gave the Switch 1 an extra holiday season, and we couldn't get Donkey Kong Bonanza out for launch. It looks way cooler than Mario Kart World. You couldn't delay the Switch 2 for one more month just so that it synced up with the launch of Donkey Kong Bonanza. This launch would be very different feeling if it was launching with those two games. Man, I never would have got Mario Kart World. I would have just spent the money on Donkey Kong Bonanza, to be honest with you. Just now that I know what I know. Mario Kart World looks like it's worth about $40, and Donkey Kong Bonanza looks like it's worth about $90. Just going based off what I'm seeing. And thankfully, I ended up getting the bundle. Yeah, I got the bundle with the digital download for Mario Kart World. I normally hate that, and I want physical editions of these things, right? And I may get a physical Mario Kart World version down the line, who knows? But with the digital edition bundle, I think I paid only about $60 for Mario Kart World on top of the price of Switch 2. And that makes me feel a little bit better about it, which is kind of pathetic. I feel better about owning Mario Kart World because I only paid $60. It does not feel like a top-notch Nintendo product. So with Mario Kart World out of the way, and the launch out of the way, what's going on with the future? Well, look, we got Donkey Kong Bonanza a few weeks away, and I bet you Metroid Prime 4 is coming in September. Hopefully August, but we'll see. And the launch window games are good. But I said that before in my last video, the eulogy for the Switch 1. Nintendo always has the software on lock. It's never a problem, right? And going forward, there's no doubt in my mind that there's going to be a stream of these things coming. If we can keep it coming, we're going to avoid a Wii U situation. If not, well, there's no way it's going to be as bad as the Wii U, just because it's called 2, but you know what I mean. And the Switch 2, I think they just wanted to hit the ground running. I think they just wanted to continue the Switch 1. And if you look at these games, like, what was the hugest selling game on Switch? I don't know, Mario Kart, right? Mario Kart 8, a Wii U port. This is so, and somebody said this before, this is like a salaryman console. It is obviously a console for salarymen, right? Right? And every complaint I have would have been a compliment years ago, because I remember being that person who wished Nintendo would just release a normal console and then just do another one and then carry everything over. Well, they finally did it. And what you have here is just the Switch 1 era is continuing. We sold 160 million Switch 1s. Why change it? Right? How could I argue with that? What's the first game that's going to be out on Switch 2? Well, it's got to be a sequel to Mario Kart 8, because Mario Kart 8 sold so many copies. Well, there you go. This is it. You're playing it, but it's very different from Mario Kart 8, though. It's not apples to apples comparison, but it's like apples to pears. They're kind of similar, but you can tell they're different, and it's definitely not apples to oranges. It remains to be seen how Mario Kart World's going to get DLC, how it's going to play out, but right now it's absolutely not. Mario Kart World is absolutely not the reason to buy the Switch 2 right now. And in fact, this is the dumbest time to buy a Switch 2. You're paying the most price for the least software, right? So don't be like me. Unless you really, really want to be playing Metroid Prime 4 on day one. Again, there's a Switch 1 version, but, Switch 2 has a higher frame rate and all that. But higher frame rate, yeah, sell that to 9-year-olds. For me, I'm hoping that Nintendo just keeps treating it like a Switch Pro, and they favor performance over graphics. I always pick performance over graphics. That's why I love the PS5 actually, because Sony just treats it like, well, let's just give them performance rather than graphics. And they did reveal that 70% of players, when given the option, choose the performance mode. Right? But graphics is not the same as art style. Right? Mario Kart 8 looks better at a lower graphical level of fidelity. That comes from skill, right? It comes from effort. And Mario Kart World just doesn't really look like it has it. Kids might like free roam, but, the game isn't snazzy. It doesn't have the snaz. But the Switch 2 itself, it does have snaz. It's got a degree of snaz. It feels a lot more premium. It feels expensive. The mouse controls work good. They work fine. What can I say? I'm looking forward to using them for Metroid Prime 4. But I don't know if anything's ever going to top just the laying in bed, barely moving mode of playing. You know how we do it? I lay in bed and I just move as little as possible. I move my thumb a little bit like that, and that's about it. And I think that's just going to be the way she goes for the foreseeable future. So the Switch 2, I can't tell you to buy it. It's not interesting. It doesn't feel particularly new. It's kind of like going from, it's the closest thing I can tell you is probably like going from, I don't know, it's not even as crazy as going from DS to DS Lite. It's a little bit like going from DS Lite to DSi, if you know what the DSi was. I have one. Just by virtue of being a DS, it's great. And just by virtue of being a Switch, I have to say this console is great. It's continuing everything from the Switch. And if you don't have a Switch, it's an absolute buy. But right now, if you're the hyper enthusiast, you can buy it. So, how many people is that really left in the world? The super crazy hyper enthusiast player and the people who don't own a Switch. That little fraction of people are going to buy a Switch too. Like I said before, we're going to know this time next year. That's going to be the bellwether. It's not Christmas. Because once Christmas is over, that signals that's the end of the initial thrust of people. That's where it ends. Right? That's like if you have a movie, the opening weekend is launch, and the all important second weekend is actually after Christmas. It's not during Christmas. Like the first opening weekend is from now to Christmas. And then if it can perform after Christmas, so that's like December 25th to like say today, June 20th, that's going to be your second weekend. That's when the good word of mouth gets people to come back. That's how you really know how you're going to perform. Because right now, the man children own the Switch 2 now, and then the kids are going to get it on Christmas. And once you got those two people scooped up, now you have to find the new people. Are they going to do it? I don't know. If they keep the software coming, yes, but I can't believe that they weren't able to announce like Animal Crossing. That would have been good. But yeah, Switch 2, it is what it is. Do you want one? I don't know. Do I want one? Yes, it's a begrudging yes. I have to say yes. It's a little bit like owning a new car. How's your new car? It's a car. It's fine. Why'd you buy the new car? Well, this car, only this car can go to this new restaurant. So yeah, there's a thing where only a car of this make and model can get into this new drive-thru. So you have to buy it. Oh, okay. I guess I will then. That's the Switch 2.